Hey guys, Cosmos TV, and I wanted to talk to you guys about my recording. I've had some issues with my recording as I've been editing the videos, where I've been having a lot of choppy video, and I'm pretty disappointed with the way the last video I recorded was, which happened to be the first part of the factory build, and getting to your reinforced iron plates using the first alternate recipe that we researched, which was stitched iron plates, which is iron plates and wire. So since I can't show it to you here anymore because now the update's live, I had built one of those silly lifts to get the stuff up, but now we can use conveyor lifts. So I came in here and edited this, and I wanted to show you guys kind of what I was doing in the process of while we wait on Mark II miners before we get into that big video. And I'm pretty certain that I fixed my video issues now, so my recordings should not be choppy or blurry, and hopefully the quality is a lot better for a lot of you. But today I wanted to go over what we did and what I lost the footage of. So I connected these two. These are Mark I miners, both at 60 per minute right now, and that is at max what we can do with our Mark II belts because they carry up to 120. So I've merged these together into this. So this belt here carries 120 up to the factory. So the first factory floor is where we left off. We put down a couple coal generators, and we've established ourselves the beginning of a power grid. And I can tell you guys that is pretty vitally important, because this is where we take this floor factory and having to farm biomass, and now we've automated our power supply, so we don't have to go around and collect leaves, grass, and make biofuel anymore. So now that that's out the way, you can essentially let your game run autonomously as long as you want, which is what I've done. So since I've done that, I'm backed up on supplies. So what I've done is I brought those two down here, and I will break them apart as we get our Mark III belts, as we get Mark II miners. And this is a system designed for 240 resource nodes. So once I get one of those down there, and I'll have to overclock it because it is a normal to 240, then this will run these 8 smelters on their own. One pure node can run 8 smelters because the 30 resources per minute. So, this base alone has 4 iron nodes, 2 up top, 2 down below that are normal. So that's 4 setups just like this one. If I wanted to do that I could do something with, and I'm only having to use half of it right now. Can I get up here? Thank you. I only have to use half of it right now, and I like to break them down into twos. I break them down into pairs in the early game because this is pretty much the capability of the belt. The belt is pretty limited in what its capability to do, especially since I'm feeding this the way I do. So right now, this still is not a 100% feed system. It is once these back up and I'm not using to feed these 4, but if I was only feeding 4, it would be perfect. But since I would like to feed 8 and I pre-planned this part of the factory, it's not. So enough about that. I connected 2 of the smelters. Oh, let me show you guys the splitter system back here and how I kind of did that. So everything comes into the factory, feeds into a splitter, which then splits into 2. And then this splits down into also 2, which then feeds 2 smelters on their own. So this is a 100% feed system from a 240 resource node. So our next tier upgrade will be for Mark II miners, and then Mark III belts shortly after. So once we get that, then I will be able to break those 2 apart, run a second line up, and etc, etc. So then I connect the 2 of these, and this I do for a number of reasons, because let's say this line specifically, we're trying to make reinforced iron plates. So I'm doing that here by taking these 2, running them to this constructor setup here, and this makes iron plates. Now iron plates require 30 input per minute, so they each require a smelter of their own. at the time being. So this is a fully capable system on its own here. And then these feed up further, which we'll catch up with in a minute. Now this one over here, I use an alternate recipe for this as well as our reinforced iron plates. A lot of you are like, where's the screws? Well, I have alternate recipes because of the hard drives that we've researched. One of those alternate recipes is iron wire. Iron wire is really effective here, and the only drawback that we have is that the belt does not feed it fast enough. I need a Mark III belt to feed these two up here. Eventually I'll add a third, so that way I can do 2 modular frames. I'll show you guys that calculator site. It's Satisfactory calculator. I believe it's Satisfactory calculator Greeny Dev. Let me see, satisfactory.greeny.dev, and I'll put that on the video here. But those feed in, those two come up here and feed this, which I can actually do more because this takes 15. So considering that it takes 15, I could run 4 constructors off of those 2 smelters, but it would exceed the capabilities of what I'm able to do with plates at the moment, so it's pointless, in other words. So I've now set myself up to where I can make the stitched iron plates, and then this runs down here and merges in and connects to storage. So then I can take the storage and go whichever way I want. When it comes to foundation, don't be afraid to build out and build more than you need at the moment. It's better to overbuild than it is to underbuild. You can always deconstruct. Adding 2 sometimes can be really difficult. The other thing I will go over real quick is a lot of you that are new to this game probably don't understand how I was able to do this and create the floating mergers and splitters. So I do this by coming out in front of where I'm merging and laying down foundations. So I would put like an 8x4 foundation down, and then I would build my assemblers out in front of it here. So I would give myself at least a space from where I built to out to like here per se. And then I would just line my splitter up with wherever the input is. So then I bring it, and at some point it's going to show you a green line from up here. So it'll be a green line that shows up and shows you you're lined up with that hole, but you got to be back far enough away. Once that line shows up, you can come 1 forward, and then you'll be able to run a line down like this. So I line those up. I set it up. It's too high, so the other real quick thing is out in front, if you want to change the elevation of a belt, so say I have this belt here and I want to bring it up. Well, I want to bring it up. A lot of you will probably notice that you can't do it from here. It's going to tell you the belt has an invalid shape. The key mark for here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 spaces out in front. Yeah, I didn't move 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces out in front, and then you can come up in elevation. So same thing from that. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go up 2. So then I could essentially delete this so I don't have a dip in it and make it one smooth transition. So that's what I did here, is I built a stacker out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I had it connect here, and I did the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I built 2. And then I was just able to take this, and then you can delete these. So you can get your resources back, or you could just try to keep it from having like that cluttered look underneath it. So 4 paces. Also, the only other thing I'll show you guys when we build skyways is the length of belts is 6 tiles. So, well, 5 tiles. So on the 6th line. But we'll talk about that in another video. I didn't want to run too long because I'm not doing a hard edit on this video. I'm just trying to get you guys caught up with what I did build. And I'll show you guys real quick what we're trying to aim for with this system, so you guys can kind of see what we're shooting for. So let me save, and then I'll load into the main base here, which I'll show you guys this base later, but I don't want this video to take 30 minutes. I just wanted to get a video out to show you guys what's going on, and apologize in advance that I lost the part 2 and I wasn't going to deconstruct this factory to redo it all over again for the video. We're going to keep progressing because the new update is out, and this update's got a lot going on. So this is my main factory right now, guys, and as you can see, I did not come in and fix all of this yet. I've been trying to implement, and this is the initial thing I built, was the conveyor elevator, but now you can do this with lifts. So considering that the lifts are here and ready to go, then you know, you don't need to do this system anymore. But this is the same base, same starting zone that we're doing in the YouTube video. And as you can see, why I built up on the bottom platform is I wanted to be able to build over these miners in the YouTube base. And then I was just able to run conveyor lifts to get the resources up. So I got the resources up, and those are 2 separate belts, as you can see there, just like I explained we will do. And I'm able to do the same kind of system that we have. Now, don't mind this system. This is something to get me around my factory a little faster. So this base is kind of the same thing. I like to pair them off, and once you get more resources to feed and faster belts, you can do this triple. So I did a 3-2-3 here, just because I wanted that clean block look, you know, and I have the ability to feed. So the other thing with this is I can expand what I have by connecting more, and I left 2 free here. So I connected these 6, and I was able to expand my production to do iron plates on one side, iron wire on the other. So I have iron wire here and iron plates over here, and it's all on one line instead of 2 separate lines now. So you can see you start to clean the look up, and then I did the same thing to feed these 3 reinforced iron plates up here. So I'm making the same exact thing I'm making in the YouTube base as I did for my main factory. I just have more upgrades here, more capability here. And then eventually we'll run that over to modular frames here. And as you can see, I kind of have the same. And that's what I did with these 2 smelters here. Is the 2 are making 30, iron rods take 15. I was able to do 4 of them. And that's how I came up with the production quantity to be able to do at least 2 modular frame assemblers. I do not use the alternate recipes for this because I didn't have steel at the time, and I'm going to be rebuilding this factory, and I will see if it's worth the while. But there's so much going on. I'm hoping to get a video in, and maybe I'll be able to show you guys all the new updated stuff. But this one real quick, I wanted to explain the first assembly line that you kind of get to do in your factories when you're just getting started, for all you new players. And I'm not going to take you guys, it would take me a whole video that I'd have to edit that's probably 50 minutes long to show you guys this base. But we will get to that, and maybe in the next video. But we'll keep going, guys, and keep building. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.